Last fall, the Milford High School Theater Workshop entertained audiences with the zany and vibrant Alice in Wonderland. This year, the Theater Workshop decided to take on a completely different genre and subject matter in playwright Alan Haenel's What I Want to Say But Never Will.
It's always a lot more difficult to find the play every year than the musical. It's hard to find plays that have really big casts, especially since, we want everyone to be involved and everyone to hopefully have like a moment to shine. So that's an awesome thing about this play is that there are actually 76 like numbered speaking roles along with this very big narrator role. So my immediate reaction was like, big cast, awesome. And the fact that it does tackle all these difficult topics and that it's based on interviews with real teenagers, I thought was great actually, because it is something that hits close to home for the cast, and it's something that I think the audience will relate to as well. And it is a nice switch to do something that's more modern, contemporary, even though it's been fun to do classics the last few years, but it just seemed like a nice switch and a good fit with the students we have.
This year's student director, Maddie Miaris, was the first to discover the play, and she instantly felt it would be a good fit for her cast and an important message to deliver to the school community.
I actually found this play last year. At the end of every year, we do some research independently as leadership and find shows that we like. And I had found it online and brought it up to the group just on the website that they sell it on, like playscripts.com. And I saw it, and I had read another play by the same author a while ago that was really good but didn't fit our cast very well. But this one I saw it, and I immediately was drawn towards it because it has all these topics that we don't really get to talk about a whole lot. And they're things that are really important to me and things that are important to, I know, other people in the cast and other people in our school community. And so I immediately jumped at the idea of being able to present those things on stage because theater is such a cool opportunity to use our voice in our community and in our school.
After years of working on stage as an actor, this is Maddie's first opportunity to assume the role of director.
So it's definitely an adventure because I've done theater since I was like 8 years old. But I've always been a part of a cast or a part of an ensemble, and so it's different to be on the other side of things, kind of seeing it from like the other perspective and having to figure out how to run rehearsals and who do I need to do what when and being in charge of things as opposed to being in things. But it's also really cool because having that experience of knowing what it's like to be an actor, I can help them and kind of give them instruction and like what to do with their character and help develop those characters from the outside.
Our director, Maddie, she's been really great. She's been doing these warm-up activities at the beginning of rehearsal, which we usually do to try to help people get to know each other. But instead of just being regular fun or silly improv games, we've tried to keep it rooted in discussing some of the issues of the show, getting the kids to start thinking about their characters and how they can relate to them, even if they are, speaking a monologue with beliefs that they don't necessarily agree with, which is true because this show covers a lot of things. So it is an exercise in almost just a more method sort of acting in which you're trying to get in touch with your inner emotions to connect to the character in a way that doing something like this is very different than, say, last year with Alice in Wonderland. Tapping into your inner Mad Hatter or Queen of Hearts is a little different than doing a monologue as a character who's someone your age who's really struggling with an eating disorder or an abusive home or some of the other serious topics, and even some of the less serious topics that are covered as well. It has been a different process, but the kids have really embraced it.
With such a unique show has come unique challenges for Maddie and her cast as they attempt to bring the many characters of What I Want to Say But Never Will to life.
In a normal plot-driven show, every character kind of has this long chance to develop their character. So their character might feel one way in one scene and another way in another scene, and it's really clear to see those motivations change throughout the show. However, in this play, everyone has like this much space to do all of that work in. And so if they have 5 minutes to talk on stage or 1 minute to talk on stage, they have a lot of development to do in a very short period of time. So what I've been focusing on a lot as the director is letting those characters shine through in the small moments they have by talking to the actors about how their characters feel, what are those motivations, and how can we make that character feel real and authentic even in a short period of time.
Audience members should be prepared for a lot of serious subject matter to be addressed in this year's fall play, but the cast and crew stress that there are some lighthearted moments mixed in as well.
There's definitely moments of levity. I would say overall the monologues tend to be a bit more on the serious side, but there certainly are moments of comic relief or ones that are, less serious than some of the others, because we do delve into some pretty heavy topics, but overall it's fairly well balanced throughout as well. You're not going to spend the whole time feeling like you need your tissues, So the show, What I Want to Say But Never Will, it's Friday, November 16th, and Saturday, November 17th at 7 p.m., and Tuesday, November 18th at 2 p.m., and tickets will be available at the door. They're also available for sale online through the Milford website this year. So we're hoping to get a really big crowd, and we do want to let everyone know that we would say the show is rated PG-13, though. There's a little, with the topic matter, not really language-wise, but just for parents to be aware.
While it may not be a show with colorful costumes and big production numbers, What I Want to Say But Never Will is packed with poignant storytelling that the cast and crew hope will provide audience members with a newfound understanding of the complexities of teenage life.
I'm really hoping that they take the message to heart and really see it as this is the issue, these are issues that the people in our school are dealing with. It's a lot of things. Some of them are really, really hard things to be dealing with, and nobody knows that they're happening because we just don't talk about it. And so I'm hoping that the audience is able to see that, and if it's a monologue towards parents and the way the parents act, I'm hoping the parents in the audience will be able to see that and say, wow, the things I'm doing is hurting my child. Or if it's a friend, maybe they'll look at their friends differently and be able to treat them differently. And so for people in the audience to be able to take that perspective and apply it to their lives and how they treat others.
The title is What I Want to Say But Never Will, and the premise was the playwright did ask that question of numbers of teenagers, and these are the statements and thoughts and feelings that emerge. So it might be good for anyone seeing the show, no matter what your age, to think about what are the things I wish I could say and why aren't I saying them, and for everyone to realize that as the saying goes, everyone's going through a struggle even if you don't see it. So I really think it's a way for people to kind of think about what their own might be and how to relate to other people in their lives who might also be afraid to admit something about themselves.
This is Milford TV News and Sports Director Tim Coet. Make sure you check out new editions of the Milford Informer every Friday at 7:30 p.m. or during one of our 8 convenient re-air times throughout the weekend. You can also find individual news stories as well as full archived editions on our YouTube page, My Milford TV. If you live in the greater Milford area and have an idea for a news story, you can tweet at us using the handle @Milford_TV, or you can contact me directly by sending an email to news@milfordtv.net.